How the characters who have our traits are portrayed on TV in a disempowering way. So the world comes to see your behavior in the real world as weak. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Child of Most High and I'm back with another video on introversion. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be telling you my my favorite introverts, my favorite black introverts in film and TV. Okay, so obviously you can have your opinion, okay, but I actually have evidence, so just hold tight with evidence. I'd also like to say thank you guys for all your support on the last video. I made it like 3 months ago and I put it out there and I didn't realise I'm shocked by the response and overwhelmed by the response, and I feel awful, you know, so many of us are going through that. It's really hard. People don't understand how difficult it is to navigate life daily. You know, some of you didn't even realise that was the root of it. Really has made me realise that this channel is going to be primarily about black introversion. Okay, let's go. And don't come over here with the 4A South. Ain't talking to no 4A. When I said it goes boring, mate. You actually look so bad. The baby hair that you guys do does not look good. What are you going to do? Work in retail for the rest of your life? I find that really annoying. Yes, I am naked. Okay, so we have TT from Set It Off. 3 words I would use to describe TT is timid, distressed and vulnerable. Okay, let's start off with body language. Okay, so throughout the whole film you kind of see her kind of like, she's always got this long ass sleeves and she's always kind of hunched and she's always worried, and she has these big ass like sorry ass eyes, like she's always fearing or worried about something. Now am I saying she's an introvert? Stay tuned. Okay, her head's down all the time, most of the time. Guys, we weren't ready. You know we weren't ready. Look, who's to say it's introversion? She could just be traumatized from living in the hood. But let's just go along with the fact that it is introversion for 1 second. Okay? She's also very soft-spoken, even when other people are talking to her in a very firm or assertive voice. Vivica's like, I had to push up. I had to do that.
I had to push up.
Guys, we weren't ready. Now let's look at the friendship group. We have Cleo, who is masculine and assertive and quite a dominant character.
Get back with these motherfuckers and go up in there and take all the fucking money.
Who's always talking, always kind of running her mouth, no filter. I'd actually say Cleo was actually extroverted. And then we have Vivica, who is more like the homegirls, a bit more sassy, a bit more prissy kind of character, right? And then we have Cleo, who is like the mother figure of the group, who's the heart of the group, who is the conscience, who's the more responsible individual.
Did you lock that door?
And among that, TT kind of sits in this place of being the baby of the group. She has the least dialogue as well. You know, if introverted characters, there wouldn't be much dialogue. I'm trying so hard to look in the camera, guys. Sorry, it's just when I think I look up. Don't look at the nails, okay? She had the least dialogue. Guys, I have a course that I'm doing about trying to overcome perfection, right? And being critical of myself. This is one of the things I'm doing, so bear with me. I'll share that with you when I finish that journey in about 28 days. Really uncomfortable for me, but whatever. Realistically, guys, an introverted character wouldn't be talking that much. It'd be very silent. But how can we create a movie around a character who's introverted and engage everyone, entertain everyone, that would naturally include little to no dialogue? Let's talk about self-defense. She's not really in it with them. Like, she's kind of always on the outside, kind of looking in. She is kind of avoidant and non-confrontational and kind of timid in her approach to things, and always, if she can take a back seat, she will. Which is why I think it was mad that they didn't let her go in the car. TT never should have robbed the bank. The first time she fucking ran out. The second time she's on the fucking floor. When it finally comes to, what was it, downtown Central or whatever, why the hell are they letting TT rob the bank? TT shouldn't be robbing the bank. TT should be in the fucking car with Frankie. That already, this is where the story went terribly wrong. But whatever, they killed her off, whatever. Cool, so I digress. We have one moment of confrontation where she stands up for herself, which is like, you know, good job. Good job. And standing up to their bullies, asserting themselves and dominating others. Even if it's one moment, it's really important that we see that kind of range in the character. In the garage, when Frankie was being all selfish and combing her hair like this. Oh, let me get my car. I had to have it. And then she's like, because I'm sick and tired of your shit.
Get it over with, because I am sick of your shit.
And everyone was just like, that was great. We love this. We love to see it. The introvert stood up for herself. Go along with it, okay? Don't say she's not introvert. Go along with it. Just go along with it. Stoney had her moment of going off. Cleo always going off. Frankie's always going off. Now she's more agitated, right? And she lost her job and whatnot. Meanwhile, TT's just kind of tagging along in the background every time. I swear the girl's always in the background. You understand? Evidence enough, okay? So, conclusion. Some of you might not like that I'm calling her introvert. It's fine. I have enough evidence, right? However, she is the most stereotypical representation of an introvert, one that we don't like. Yeah? You understand? Because you can say she's not introvert. If we were to put extroverts in a room together and they had to pick from these films who was an introvert, they would say that. Even if you don't agree, there are people who will think that she is. So people are pulling from her behavior on screen and identifying it with you. Even though they haven't proclaimed that she's introverted, just having these kind of characters on screen, period, people are still going to connect to our behavior on a subconscious level. I swear, guys, stay with me. Do I like her? Do I dislike her? I don't really like her. As a child, like, when I watched her, she pissed me off. Like, I always thought she was just weak. Like, I just thought she was weak. It's funny how we, like, resent the weak character, you know? And, like, even in real life, people will dislike you and pick on you because they think you're weak, but we do the same thing to characters on screen. I just thought she was weak, like... I felt sorry for her more than I liked her. Yeah. Yeah, sorry TT. You got to go. We don't like that representation. I need a straw. I can't keep doing this. So next we have Sean from Power. Oh, Sean is so sweet. He's so sweet. Understandably, Sean didn't make it to season 3 because introverts can be naive and vulnerable, right? This is what I'm seeing on screen. I just want to start off by saying that, like, let me look at you guys. They cast so well for this. Casting for someone with Sean's kind of temperament, with his kind of mild, meek demeanor. I've seen an actor in interviews. He didn't give that vibe. Don't get it twisted. He wasn't New York. To cast for an introverted character or people with traits close to introverts, you would have to hire someone who almost kind of has it, because if you pick someone that's too opposite, I just genuinely feel like there's not, it's an essence that you can just pick up and we'll be able to tell that it's like not authentic. You understand? So I feel like they cast really well. Let me start off by saying Sean had a very gentle and mild energy about him. To me, from when I watched the film, I love Sean. I thought it was beautiful. Like, obviously it's dark skin. I do love dark skinned people. I do have a preference for dark skinned people. That's just me. I do have favourites, and a lot of time they're gonna be dark skin. And he had a mild, calm nature, which is rare that we see that in the film. So I really love this guy. But it doesn't work in this environment. New York. And he's in selling drugs and running around and being fucking ghost chauffeur and shit, and trying to get his dad out of jail and shit, and be a little errand boy and that. It doesn't work. What it is about Sean, he was so pure. He would only speak when he was spoken to. Don't get it twisted. We're not like that. That's different. We don't talk because we don't have to. I feel like his quietness, his silence stems from, could possibly having fucking Kanan as a fucking father. Can you imagine Kanan being loving towards him, supportive towards him? The traits that he has, the mildness, the meekness, the quietness that I associate with introversion. Who's to say it's not there because of some trauma in life? Like, even you guys who are watching, who's to say that this is who you truly are? Until you go counselling and really dig into your childhood, who's to say that it's not as a result, your behaviour isn't a result of trauma? It's interesting. That's something to think about. Always trying to prove himself. Like, that's another thing. Why is he always trying to prove himself? Like, Sean is essentially changing his behaviour and nature to please Uncle Ghost, and his dad, trying to follow in his father's footsteps. This is not you, baby. Stop. And sometimes when you are quiet and introverted, people will try to run game on you and think that you're stupid and try to manipulate you, try to control you, try to abuse you. You know how it goes. So Sean, evidence that he's an introvert, stay with me, he allows his father to manipulate him all the time.
You in? Yeah.
Like, all the time, to where I'm like, what is your self-awareness and situation awareness? Because the way Kanan would do it, it wasn't like it was hard to see, but I think he's just so set on pleasing his father that he overlooks those things. And it's about intuition now, so it goes back to intuition and the introvert intuition, which I think is very strong. Now it's a matter if you want to listen to that, because if you don't, you're gonna get bullied, you're gonna get controlled by other people. Again, Sean falls into a more stereotypical introverted character. Self-defense, okay, we're always going to bring it up. Self-defense is always important. It's always going to be a topic whenever we talk about introversion, because the attack on us daily is very strong, okay? He actually doesn't stand up for himself. He doesn't stand up for himself. I don't think I'm trying to scan my mind to try to remember if I've seen him stand up for himself. I don't think he has. Okay, Sean never stood up for himself, even to the people closest to him.
Flat feet are bitch. Lucky you got your mamas.
Hey, Uncle Ghost, it's sweet. It's like there's like big dolly eyes and stuff. It's beautiful, but it's just, you know, Sean, there's a reason why you never made it to season 3. I just want to say that these qualities, this mildness, this meekness, this softness, this calmness, this quietness, are not negative qualities, okay? These are actually very beautiful qualities. I want you guys to understand, but the world will continue to make you feel like these qualities are wrong, are bad, and need to be stomped out, that you need to change. And what evidence is that they're actually Christ-like qualities, you understand? Which means that they're good qualities. Christ had a meek and mild nature. Christ probably operated the space closer to an introvert than he did the extrovert. Whenever we see characters who are quiet, meek and mild, it's always very, it's shown in a way it's very disempowering. So the world comes to see your behaviour in the real world as weak. You understand? It has to do with how the characters who have our traits are portrayed on TV in a disempowering way. No one takes introverted qualities, silence, meekness, mildness, and puts them into a character where it is a strong character. It's never a complex character. If they're quiet, meek and mild, they're weak. We can be quiet, meek and mild and strong. We can be quiet, meek and mild and competitive. You know, we can be quiet, meek and mild and a leader, but the TV doesn't show people who have our qualities in a positive or empowering way. So people were naturally thinking in life that you are weak. You see how quick that happened. So that's also another thing. We're good people. We're not bad. So introverts or people who are mild and meek only do good things. So the characters are not complex enough. You understand? Most of the time people are giving him commands, giving him order, giving him instruction, and he's being controlled. Like, so he's in the driver's seat, but he's not really in the driver's seat. You understand? He's not controlling where people are going. He's being told where to go. He's still being controlled, even though he's in the driver's seat. I think that really is a really good way to show Sean's character, really. He's got some sad-ass eyes, man. He's like, it's like TT. The eye thing, it's just this like timid, big, doe-eyed thing going on. Okay, let's talk about clothing. He had his own suit initially, and then Uncle Ghost upgraded him.
Is that a new suit?
Yeah.
And then Tash started to feel him and stuff. He started to feel himself.
This has my husband written all over it.
He was dressed in a way that didn't show any power. So what Ghost did, he put him in like a power suit. The fit, the cut, the quality of it made him look like a leader. Made him look more powerful, more empowered. But even though he looked empowered on the outside, he didn't behave in a way that was empowering. He was still the same character. It was an outer transformation, but not inner transformation. I love a stiff shirt, I love a starch, I love a stiff suit. You know, there needs to be starch up in the suit. I don't like cotton movie. The shit should not move, it should be stiff as fuck. But do you not think that Sean's an introvert? Or do you think he's just like that way because he had Kanan raising him as a freaking father in fucking New York? And that's a whole other issue. I want to talk about New York as well, and the way New York and their big ass mouths, and how they always want, how difficult it would be to be introverted in that kind of culture. In closing, 3 words I would use to describe Sean would be gullible, vulnerable, and naive. If I don't drink, I can't think. Next character, Moesha from Moesha, aka Brandy. I know what you're thinking, Moesha's not an introvert, but bear with me because I have some evidence, okay? Yeah? Evidence number 1. Moesha's always in her bedroom. I'm always in my bedroom. Moesha always journals in the morning or at the end of the day. I always journal at the morning or at the end of the day. Mauritia's always able to like extract all these life lessons from like some of the tiniest events and reflect, you know, and be just very reflective, very introspective, you understand? I'm introspective, I'm reflective, I'm always pulling out all kinds of meaningful, all kinds of bullshit. We can hear Mauritia's inner voice. I can hear my inner voice. Stay with me, stay with me. Mauritia is studious, always wants good grades, and she reads a lot. I'm studious, I always want good grades. I read a lot. These are all, I believe, introverted qualities. Yeah? The introspection, the locking themselves off in rooms, the extracting lessons from various situations, able to reflect and learn from, you know, the things that have happened, and process the information and learn from the things that have happened. This is probably one of the best parts about Mauritia's introverted character, is that if I were to create a character that was introverted, should be the behaviors that Mauritia is displaying. I think the character should display those behaviors to be introverted. Now, think about every introverted character we've seen. It's always been them outside. It's never them inside. I think an introverted character would have to spend most of the time indoors. Yeah. It speaks to the challenges of having an introverted character on screen. These characters have been written by extroverts. That's the issue. That's why there's no depth. It's not their job, it's our job. So I know you're saying, oh, Mauritia is an introvert, she's an extrovert or whatever. Mauritia's an introvert, guys. What it is, yeah. What it is that she's the main character. You understand? So what we're seeing is this pressure in this sitcom for Mauritia to perform all the time and entertain all the time as the main character. So they're gonna give her loads of dialogue, but if you can't see the signs, then you can't see the signs. You should see the signs because you're an introvert. Mauritia's an introvert. She's just exerting herself. That's why at the end of the day she goes back to her room and fucking journals because she goes exhausted. I really hope you guys are still with me, you know. Yeah. Okay, so Mauritia is drained from having been cast as the main fucking character and talking all the fucking time. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, if you were to see me outside at this room, I'm not talking, yeah? Because the camera's on, Mauritia is talking, I'm talking. So when she gets to her room, we see her true nature. Guys, if you can't see it, I don't tell you. As an introverted character, she shows the most range and most depth and the most intellect. She's not naive as well, that's another thing. The clothing thing, Mauritia's outfit's changing every time. Why? Because she's pressurized to conform to, you know, the standards of being the main character. The main character has to look good all the time and have different outfits, when really she probably would have more of an individual style, and it probably would digress to it. Mauritia didn't really have an individual style. She really just was on every kind of trend. Whatever was trendy, she was on. Why? With the pressure to perform as an introvert once the camera's on, you understand? It's so deep, guys. If you can't see it, when we hear Mauritia's inner voice, right? She's always worrying. What do we do? We always worry. We're always calculating, overthinking, and anticipating things, you understand, and cussing people out in our head. That's what she does all the time. I think they should have done an episode in Mauritia where there was no dialogue and it was just all inner monologue, like her thoughts. That would be fresh. I'm actually going to do an episode like that. I'll vlog one day where it's just all thoughts. This is the last one, okay? My favourite introverted character on screen ever. London. We have Ace from Paid in Full. Yes, I think Ace. Yes, New York. Ace from Paid in Full. Ace is number one to me because he's a black male. He's a black male. How often do we see black male introverts on screen? Damn near never. You understand? I think that's what makes it so special, so fresh. I also love black males. I do love black males, especially I do love black introvert black males. I think they're so special. 3 words to describe Ace. I'd say intelligent, loyal, calm. Let's look at Ace now within his friendship group. So we have Mitch, who I think is quite cocky, quite kind of arrogant. I'd say he's the leader of the group, right?
You ain't ready for me, I got you. You got you right here in the pocket.
And then we have Rico, who is... I fucking hate Rico, man. I can't even sit here and say free, but I hate him. I think he's a narcissist.
I walk up to the table, right? Pick up the cake. mush it in his face, tell him happy birthday.
Rico is impulsive, he's reckless, and he's just selfish, okay? So that's 3 words to describe Rico. I hate Rico. So I always loved the dynamic between Mitch and Ace.
Little something, kid. Word, man. Word, man.
I think it's kind of like that friend in the area that you have that you kind of, you are different to, but you just have this connection now. And that connection comes from that brotherhood, that loyalty. Ace comes across quite level-headed, yeah? Especially when he's around Mitch. He's always kind of able to help Mitch come to some kind of conclusion, some kind of decision, and give him some kind of, you know, spit his introvert wisdom, you understand? One thing about Ace is that he was just himself. You know, from the beginning, he's just very lovable, he's just very sweet. We see with his girlfriend, and he works in the laundrettes. He's not flashy, he wears whatever. I don't even remember what he was wearing because it's not important. I actually love guys like that, or people like that period where you can't see their clothes because it's just, they shine through it. I feel like he had his own individual style. I didn't like it when Ace was like criticizing his,
Well, the way you dress, nigga, ain't got to worry about jealous cats. You be invisible up in the club.
I didn't like that. That pissed me off. That's when I started liking Mitch, you know. I was like, Mitch, carry on with this fuckery, carry on with this fuckery. I don't like you right now. Many of us have our own way of thinking and dressing. He had that introvert individuality. Trust me, you can be introverted and still conform, but I do feel that his style of dress at the beginning is reflective of someone who doesn't care about those kind of things, but he's like the Stoney of the group. I mean, he's the one with the wisdom, he's the one with the heart, he's the one that's always kind of challenging everyone's kind of actions and behaviour.
To the queen. Fire, man. I'm paying for your paper bag games and shit.
Good seatbelt, motherfucker.
The more evidence that Ace is an introvert. Okay, bear with me, I have notes. Staying away from the limelight.
I like to go to the club, take care of my business, you know, talk to the people I need to talk to, put it down like that. Everybody checking you, checking me, all flashy and shit. That's not my thing.
Yeah, staying away from the light. We don't like the limelight. We don't like it. Let me know if you're introvert, like true introvert, and like the limelight, because that's just off. I actually question if you really like introvert, because we don't really like it. Give me credit where it's due, but don't shine the spotlight on me and ting. It's just too much. It's too bright. I don't like it. Remember when they were in the club? And it's like, not every day we gotta be on French Street, babe. Because Rico loves the attention. Rico loves attention to post it quite much. As an introverted friend, it is difficult for you to have extroverted friends, right? Which is why I don't think him and Rico really fit.
Hey, yo, hey, niggas get shot every day, B. You be aight, nigga. You tough, right?
I also know that as a writer, that's why he's there. If it wasn't for Rico, we wouldn't be able to see those characteristics and traits of, you know, responsibility and loyalty and his goodness, because the only reason why we can really see truly why Ace is good and loyal is because Rico's in the picture. Remember when Mitch came out of prison and he started driving around with his car? Hey, Dame. The whole block had to know he was out.
Felt good to be rolling through Harlem, top down, and Mitch at the wheel. I just wanted to get my man set up and back where he belonged, on the stage.
Low-key, he's just low-key, introvert behaviour, you understand? Let's go. So also, he works in the laundrettes because it doesn't require him to talk to anybody. We don't like roles where we have to interact with people. You know, so working in a laundrette is a good introvert job. It's a calmness to him and a peace that comes from him that, say, Mitch and Rico don't have. That's enough for me to say he's introvert. The communication style is giving introvert vibes. Even the way he talks to his girlfriend in the diner.
If I'm so boring, then what you know, why you with me?
You know, so, you know, Rico could never do what Ace did. It's that introverted intellectualism, like, he was able to achieve what Mitch did in a short period of time. Why? Because he's intelligent. And that intellect comes from his introversion, being introspective and being a reader. Ace, we never really saw him in his space. I think we saw Mitch go to bed one time. If we saw Ace in his space, there wouldn't be much dialogue, so it's always about taking him outside this space to be around other people. This is an introverted character, guys, and it's a black male. That's what I like about him the most. Like, he's just I love a good character. I love characters that are just good and wholesome. I do love it. I think it's something we see more of on screen, especially in black characters, but I think it's our job to write these things. You understand? Guys, that's the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching. But if you disagree, you have to have evidence to go against my claim. You understand? Don't just say, I think. You need evidence, first of all. If we're only seeing one way of behaving when it comes to black women, even within music as well, then that's how everyone's going to come to expect us to behave. It's about expectations. People have a expectation of black women, and the silence offends them, you understand? And so it's not only about creating introverted characters, it's about having a wide range of black characters on screen with different behaviours. So guys, thank you so much for watching my video. If you like more content like this around black introversion, identity, character, behaviour, please subscribe, and I will see you next week. Okay, take care. If you do know any more introverts, black introverts in film or TV, can you please comment below, because I would like to do a video on them and watch them, because I need to know, because I'm a writer and I will be doing more, actually create my own film for you guys to see about introversion, but I am the main character.